money, like that. That means he's a self-realized person. He was going on a palanquin for a spiritual discourse. And one of the carrier, for some reason, was unable to continue. There were four carriers carrying the palanquin. So they were trying to find a replacement on the, mm, uh, as it is said in the first one. When they reached the banks of the river, uh, river Ikshumati, they needed another carrier. So they saw that Jadabharat was very young, strong, and had firm limbs. In fact, he was as strong, they felt, like a cow or an ass, which is quite fitting to carry loads. So they could not realize the exalted position of Jadabharat, who was a great soul. Although he was unfit for such work, they forced him to carry the palanquin. So I'll share some things what I could hear from Radhanath Swami Maharaj and also Radhesham Prabhu, and some other things from my own understanding I shall try to share. So Radhanath Maharaj was saying that many a times we have heard this, that we should never become prisoner of success. Even Kunti Maharani prays, Janmaishwarya Shruta Shribir Edamana Madapuman Naivar Harti Abidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gochara. So these four things: high birth, Janma, Aishwarya, opulence; Shruta, high learning; Shribi, Aishwarya's beauty; Shribi, wealth. Like that, these things make a person unnecessarily puffed up. Like that same way, although, however noble the king was, King Rahugana, he was going for a spiritual purpose, but sometimes we become a prisoner of success, prisoner of comforts. So we become very intolerant for minute discomforts. So in this chapter, we will see that the four people who are carrying the palanquin, they were actually more distressed than the king, who experienced very little inconvenience. So in this world, we see when a person is accustomed to comforts, accustomed to prestige, respect, adoration, etc., he becomes so conditioned and programmed that even a slight inconvenience or slight negligence in any of these aspects, he becomes very heavily agitated. Uh, Actually, the people who are carrying the palanquin were more burdened with the weight of the palanquin. They never complained, but it was King Rahugana, a noble king, a spiritual minded king. So, this is how one slowly becomes captivated by Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti has two potencies: Prakshepatmika, Avaranatmika. Prakshepatmika means it kicks the living entity constantly with the different urges, uh, different hankerings, lamentation, thirst. They are like the whips beating, and also the anarthas, all these kick the person. They never satisfy the person. But most importantly, it also, although gives so much troubles, it make Maya Shakti covers the living entity. That means Maya Shakti, she makes the living entity feel this is perfectly all right. Avaranatmika. Like King Rahugana was also thinking, this is perfectly all right. As a king, I deserve so much respect. So, after all, I'm taking responsibility of the entire nation. I'm leading it in the right way. So, it deserves this respect. And I want everything to happen very perfectly for my service, like that. So, a little inconvenience, he became very, very disturbed, King Rahugana. So, this is the problem. Even a noble person with lot of comforts can get conditioned. And very nicely, um, we hear that Lord, because of his kindness, he always arranges situations how one can give up his anarthas and go closer to him. Many a times situations are arranged in such a way that exactly what we need for our purification, that is given to us. Like the example we hear from our senior Vaishnavas is the example of Prahalad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, being a demon, what would have uh, fed his false ego is, if he had a son who would always say Jai Jaikar and do more demoniac conquests and win over demigods, etc. So that's what he wanted for his false ego, and what he really didn't want was a person who would be a great devotee of his enemy, Lord Vishnu. But that's exactly what Lord provided for Hiranyakashipu's purification. And because he was so accustomed to uh, respect, adoration, whole world was bowing down at him, but his 5-year-old boy wasn't, and he was fully disturbed like that. And on the other hand, even for, you may say, okay, maybe Lord treats this way for the atheistic people to teach them a hard lesson. No, Lord is Samoham Sarva Bhuteshu. He is equal to everyone. He wants everyone to be purified of their conditionings and wants them to come closer to Him. Even a great devotee, Lord exactly does whatever is needed for his purification. Maharaja Anga was a very virtuous and noble king, but he had an exact opposite character of his as his son, Vena. So, if at all Hiranyakashipu would have got Vena and Anga would have got Prahalad as their son, both would be happy. But it was Lord's plan that this is what is the best way for purification. So, even for a devotee, sometimes, if Lord knows the only way this devotee can overcome his weakness is through purification, then the Lord orchestrates it. And then Maharaj Anga, as spoken in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. The Lord knows my devotee is going through so much troubles, tribulations, but because he is sincere, I also give him the intelligence by which he can understand my plan. So that way, Maharaj Anga could immediately understand when he was leaving home. Thank God I had a notorious son like this. Otherwise, I would have been attached to home. Now I can go to forest and purify my life like that. So a devotee, Lord gives him the intelligence in any testing situation, how he or she can utilize it for going closer to Krishna like that. So whether it is devotee, non-devotee, sometimes such reversals come. But Lord is always our Suhridam, Sarva Bhutana. He is our well-wisher. So it is only for us to go closer to Him. However, we should be careful, especially in the Grahasthashram. We are accustomed to so much comforts. We are called Yajaman of the house. And eventually, even in the office, as we grow in years and designations, we get many people subordinates to us, many people are at our command, etc. So sometimes it may go to the head, like what happened to Maharaj Rahugana. And later on, Rahugana says that uh, uh, I'm not afraid of anything, but afraid of committing an offense to a Vaishnava, because I'm sure to get the Trishul of Lord Shiva like that. So Maharaj uh, Raghuvana, when he saw that they were not being carried, he made sarcastic remarks. Initially, he threatened all the others, and when all the others became afraid of punishment, they said, "We are not the cause of any neglect, but this new person who we got, he is the one who has uh, who is this one." So then you see Rahugana, knowing uh, uh, their appeal, he became a little angry, although he was very advanced in political science and very experienced. And why? Because of this inborn nature of king. King means Rajoguna generally. Hmm. Although his mind was covered by passion. Therefore, he could not recognize the Brahman effulgence of Jadabharat, exactly like fire being covered by ashes. And in the sixth one, Rahugana makes a series of sarcastic statements. So here also we learn the lesson that sarcasm is more painful than direct insult. Uh, Example one could think of is like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gopinath Patnaik. Why did Maharaj Prataprudra's son, although a great devotee, become so much angry towards Gopinath Patnaik? Because when he was about to collect the money which Gopinath Patnaik unlawfully kept, that time Gopinath Patnaik did not have money. He wanted to exchange some horses, and he gave a low estimate for the horses. So that time he made a sarcastic statement. These horses are not like you. Because he had a idiosyncrasy problem. He would often move his shoulder and neck like this. So he said, my horses are not like that. They don't keep moving the neck like this, that way. So that sarcasm hurts a person, and a spiritually advanced person may not retaliate. He may even forgive, but the Lord may consider it seriously. Even if it is a perceived sarcasm, like in the case of Rupa Goswami's meditation on the blind, when the lame man was walking, uh, the lame man thought that Rupa Goswami was sarcastically laughing at him that way. So even that, the Lord may take it seriously. And needless to say about Gopinath Patnaik, and one more in Mahabharata, we see how Draupadi, when Duryodhan fell in the Indraprastha palace in the water, she said, "Not. I thought only the father is blind, but even the son seems to be blind." So that sarcasm caused deep revengeful thoughts in Duryodhan. That way, same way here you see every word was sarcasm. Initially he said, "My dear brother." Indirectly, he was saying, "Don't think I'll forgive you. If my brother makes a small mistake, I can forgive out of affection. Are you my brother? You useless person, I will never forgive you," like that. You certainly appear very fatigued, he's saying. Just now, Jadabharat started carrying, but he said, you appear very fatigued. And that too, you have carried this all alone without any assistance. Nobody is helping you. All the four parts you are only holding in the center and carrying. You may be very tired. Everything was a sarcastic thing. And he's saying, besides, you appear very old. Your body is weak, you are very greatly troubled. Actually, he was young, stout, stern, sturdy, etc. That way. So, and are all others not cooperating? So, like this, he made sarcastic statement, and then that time he saw that but Jadabharat, being an exalted devotee, did not retaliate, did not become angry. Rather, he smiled without any pride, without any cursing. So this happens when we are filled with passion, we want to hurt somebody. And if that person is not getting hurt by our sarcastic remark, we become more offenseful towards them. Like here you see that thereafter, when the king saw that his palanquin was still being shaken, he became very angry. And then he said, "You rascal, what are you doing?" He went to higher level of chastisement. Are you dead? He's asking, although you appear to have a life within your body. And one by one, for all this sarcastic thing, Jadabharat is responding from ninth shloka. And now we go to the 13th shloka. So, where in 13th shloka is speaking that uh, you rascal, you dull, crazy fellow. So actually, if you see from 9 shloka, Jadabharat's mood, one can try to see. Jadabharat was not, in fact, he was saying, he was trying to give spiritual knowledge to the king at the same time, out of compassion, because he is a Raja, and knowing well that Jadabharat knows that king was on a spiritual thing. That means he's a spiritual minded person. He is very open. Otherwise, it was never that just to um, uh, counteract the offenseful statements, That was not the purpose why Jada Bharat was preaching. Sometimes we also preach to somebody, not out of compassion. If they have made an offense, to make them to make them feel that, see, you have offended me. You should know my position. That is why I'm giving you this philosophy. Like that, we have so much of false ego. But Jada Bharat, if you look from ninth shloka, his mood was, he was never trying to ridicule the king's statements. He was saying, all what you have spoken is correct, king, and this is the right way. You said, like, if we go back there, ninth shloka, onwards, saying, uh, what you have sarcastically spoken is certainly true. These are not words of chastisement, rather, they are spiritual truths. The body is the carrier. The load carried by the body does not belong to me. I am not carrying that load. The body is carrying. I am the spirit soul. Like that. I am not the carrier of your palanquin. The body is the carrier. And uh, you have already hinted it properly. I am not laboring hard to carry that palanquin. Yes, it is not me. I am detached from my body. And you have said, I am not stout and strong. That is also true, because spirit soul is not this one. But uh, and these words are befitting a person who does not know the distinction between body and soul. The body may be lean or fat. Sometimes we also externally, um, it is said that a Vaishnava should never be seen externally. That famous shloka, Naraka Buddhi, it comes. In that it says, what are the wrong, defectful vision of a seeing a Vaishnava? We should never see a guru like a Nara, like a human being. He may also go to respond to nature's call. We should not think he's an ordinary human being like me. Prabhupada says that those who serve, who are put in fire, they become fiery. Same way, those who continuously are in contact with Krishna, they become spiritual. And although this material body is a vehicle or tool given to them, so therefore they may respond, they may eat, etc. One should never look at Guru like Nara. Vaishnavera Jati Buddhi. We should not see Vaishnava based on Jati Buddhi. And extension of Jati, etc., is seeing somebody as fat Vaishnava. Oh, that person, he's a fat, lazy bum, like that. So these are things which sometimes unknowingly we may start offending people. Somebody who's not so learned, little foolish, then little slow in understanding. Oh, that fellow dull Vaishnava, like that. But the Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Vaishnava is the most intelligent person. Say Bada Chatur. We may ask, how is he Chatur? Simple instructions I am giving, he is not able to follow. How can I even consider him? Why? The Bhagavatam answers why a Vaishnava is most intelligent. Because the Bhagavatam says, Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovidaha na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyadaha. That means he's kovida. Kovida means sharp intelligence Vaishnava has. Why? Because he does not endeavor to get anything that is so easily available in the three planetary systems. By doing yagya, dana, tapa, we can go to Swargaloka, Tapaloka, enjoy. This is easily available because anybody can perform yagya, dana and go bhutva, bhutva. Again, we can take different births. But tasyev heta prayateta kovida. Vaishnava is one who sees, I want the most rarest, costliest thing which not easily available. Like in that Sanatan Goswami's pastime also. We see that that person got the touchstone, but later, because of being a devotee of Lord Shiva, went with sincerity to Lord Shiva and serving Sanatan Goswami's instruction. That person got the intelligence that this is not the rarest. Sanatan Goswami has something more rare. Same way, Vaishnava, why is he most intelligent? Because he is not searching for anything of this world, which is available in the three planetary systems. He is looking for something beyond it. So materially, based on our prarabdha, some may be very knowledgeable, very intelligent, very smart, etc. Better to give them roles, designations according to their nature, And we will also not be frustrated, angry, offenseful towards Vaishnava, and they will also be peaceful. They will also not have the fear of, oh, I am trying to displease my superior, I am unable to do it. And both can go happily in Krishna Bhakti. These are material things, but spiritually, Vaishnava means most intelligent. He has surrendered to Krishna, giving up all other options available very easily, but only temporary. That means he's very intelligent, like that. So that way. And in the 13th sloka, now he's saying some words we can analyze from this sloka. Unmatta, matta. We have seen many times this word. Nunam pramattam kurute vikarmaha. Matta. Matta means maddened person, a drunken person. Matta, pramatta, unmatta. These are three different levels of madness. Nunam pramattam kurute vikarmaha. It is said. A living entity becomes pramatta, very much mad. And what he does? Kurute vikarmaha. He does sinful activities. And why does he do that? Indriya priti apnoti. So just for sense gratification, he does sinful activities. Although he is aware of the consequences, he still does it because he is very much attached to sense gratification. So here in the purport, Prabhupada is speaking on a similar line. Oh Rahugana, you are telling that I am madman. I am pramatta, unmatta. I am like a dull person, like that. So if you are saying I am dull, and at the same time you are telling I am going to punish you, what is the use of your punishment? Because a mad person will never be cured of his madness just with punishment. He has to be treated of madness. So this is a saintly person. A saintly person tries to cure him of his madness. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur also says, in this world, when we are caught by Maya, we all become like mad person. And mad person means he always talks nonsense. So this is how Jada Bharat is showing his true consciousness, that uh, um, uh, that he was never, when he's preaching this to the king, it also means that for a spiritualist, King Rahugana was a madman because he was speaking on the bodily concept. But what is Jada saying? Even if you consider me as a madman, there is no use of punishing me. Rather, you try to cure me of my madness. And that is the mood he was carrying also. He was not trying to punish Rahugana for his mad statements. Rather, he was trying to cure him because there is no use of punishment. Sometimes we see Srila Prabhupada also, some devotees or some newcomers, they would do some offenses. But Prabhupada, once somebody came to steal something. So Prabhupada said, no, give him a chance, forgive him. But again, when he made the mistake, then he thought, okay, this person, as Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport also, that he has seen, he has heard that thieves are punished. He has seen thieves are punished. Maybe he has had experience that he was punished. But if he cannot give up sense gratification, then second time when that person stole, then Prabhupada said, hand him over to police. But that handing over also was not with vengeful thing. It was just to protect the property of Krishna and other things. So a devotee never becomes angry with mad speeches of others. Another example we see in the Bhagavatam is Vidura. When Duryodhan made harsh statements, Vidura was able to see that the external Maya Shakti has covered this person, therefore he is speaking something. So he didn't try to punish, retaliate, rather he just gave that place up because Duryodhan wouldn't hear him. But later on, he preached to Dhritarashtra because the relationship with Dhritarashtra was he could preach and he was ready to hear also from Vidura. Throughout life he had been hearing, but now he had preached in a strong way so that he take his words more seriously, like that. So this is the forgiving nature of a Vaishnava. When we see somebody mad, etc., sometimes for the benefit and protection of our property or property of Krishna or devotees, we may take some action legally to punish that person, but we understand that the most important thing is we should try to cure them of the madness. So whenever not required, we just give them, connect them to closer to Krishna so that the madness is cured. And when we act in such a way, generally pure devotees, they forgive us of our madness. That is why we are still being accepted as devotees in the this one. So we should be very careful not to uh, take the forgiveness of a Vaishnava to our advantage. We should be from our side more cautious that I should never act whimsically like a madman, speak harshly, offend others, ridicule them, etc. So so this is what is said here. And here one doubt I had, I also will ask this to senior devotees, but whatever I felt after reading, I will share this. So here in the translation it is said, in this regard let me say, although I live like a dull, deaf and dumb man, I am actually self-realized person. So somebody may have a doubt. Was Jadabharat proud, saying, I am a self-realized person? The answer is no. If we look at the word-to-word meaning also, he's saying, Swasamstam. I'm self-realized means he's saying, you may say, I am dull, I am mad, etc. Crazy person. Though I appear dull and deaf, please don't take my preaching of this Krishna conscious very lightly, because I know what my position is as the soul. So whatever I'm speaking, I want you to be receptive. I felt this is the mood in which Jada Bharat was actually speaking. I will confirm it with senior devotees. It was only that sometimes when a person is materially very incompetent, acting very crazily, even the spirit, even though he may be spiritually realized, but may take his spiritual instruction also very lightly. So he really didn't want the king to take his spiritual instruction lightly. So in that way, he's saying, although I appear dull and deaf, nonetheless I am aware of the position of who am I, who is the soul. So whatever spiritual knowledge I am giving, my request is please do not mm, uh, this one. And Sri Balaji Prabhu is saying it could also mean that he is convinced. Yes, he is aware and he is convinced also of the knowledge of the soul, like that. So that is what could be the reason, like that. And now the 14th shloka, Shukadev Goswami is concluding. So Jada Bharat has given his first words. Now Rahugana will inquire later on. Now Shukadev Goswami is telling about the nature of a devotee. एतावद् अनुवाद परिभाषय प्रत्युदीर्य मुनिवर उपशम शील उपरतान् आत्मयः निमित्त उपभोगेन करा कर्मा कर्मारंभम व्यपनम राजयानम अपि ततो वाह. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Etavat, so much, Anuvada Paribhashaya, by explanatory repetition of words previously spoken by the king. For everything that the king spoke, Jada Bharat gave an explanation. So king was surprised. He remembered everything what I spoke and gave a very convincing this one explanation. Pratyudirya, giving replies one after another. Munivara, the great sage Bharata. Upashama Shila, who was calm and peaceful in character. Uparata, ceased. Anatmya, things not related to soul. Nimitta, whose cause or ignorance for uh, identifying with things not related to soul. Upabhogena, by accepting the consequences of his karma. Karmarambam, the resultant action now attained. Vyapanam, finishing. Rajavayam, the palanquin of the king. Api, again. Tata, as before. Vaha, continued to carry. So this is another nature of a great person, that the proof that he is not taken any offense to his heart is because he's continuing to do service. Otherwise, we may do service half-heartedly, we may do service grudgingly, or we may quit the service only. So sometimes Krishnanand Prabhu says that Grahasthashram, sometimes people are more fortunate. Of course, Prabhuji says the other way also, both ways. In one sense, in Grahasthashram, in Brahmachari ashram, if let us say there is some ego problem with the superior, you can change the temple. But in Grahasthashram, you cannot change the family, you cannot change your children. So in that way, we should still act responsibly. Not that now because my ego is hurt, my respect is lost, I behave irresponsibly like that. So same way. In fact, uh, uh, just like in the family, how we treat a Vaishnava should see that all devotees are my family members. I should not take these things to my heart and then become just afflicted by it and then argue back or give up responsibilities. So that is a proof here. He's continuing to act very responsibly. And that means he never took it seriously at all. So Shukdev Goswami said, "Oh Maharaj Parikshit, when King Rahugana chastised the exalted devotee Jadabharat with harsh words, that peaceful saintly person tolerated it all and replied properly. Nescience is due to bodily conception, and Jadabharat was not affected by this false conception. Out of his natural humility, he never considered himself a great devotee." So this is also to answer to our previous translation's doubt. Out of his natural humility, he never considered it. And then why did he agree to carry then? Because he agreed, because he thought, I'm just suffering the results of my past karma. Like an ordinary man, he thought, by carrying the palanquin, he was actually destroying the reactions of his past misdeeds. Thinking in this way, he began to carry the palanquin as before. And in the purport, Prabhupada gives almost 8 instructions or important things of how a pure devotee is. An exalted devotee of Lord, he never thinks that he is a Paramahamsa or liberated person. We remember the famous pastime of Prabhupada where the announcement was made. Uh, all devotees, you should please go and sit in that side of the airport like that. So then Prabhupada also started getting up. Then the devotee said, "No, this is not for you, Prabhupada. These are for others. You are Guru. We are treating you differently." But Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said, "I thought I am also a devotee. I am going with them." So he never thought, "Oh, they are devotees, but I am Guru. I am also a devotee." We see even throughout life how Prabhupada showed that he would take the morning walk, whatever his advanced age be, after the morning walk. If I can walk so long, can I not offer obeisances to the deities? Like that. So, this is the nature of a pure devotee. They want zero compromise, zero excuses when it comes to serving Krishna. And they will always argue out. I am doing so many things for maintaining this body. Why can I not stretch a little to do some service to my dearmost Lord? But a conditioned soul, we take so many austerities for our own self to maintain the body, family, etc. But for Krishna, we give 100 excuses like that. So he never thinks he's a Paramahamsa. Okay, all of you offer obeisances to deities. I am beyond that. That is the Mayavadi conception. Once I become self-realized, I don't need to bow down in front of anyone. But a pure devotee always thinks himself as servant of Lord. And once we are servant of Lord, we have to naturally be servant of all living entities. That is the meaning of being a servant of Lord. He always remains a humble servant of Lord. And in all reverse condition, he agrees to suffer the results of his past life. He never accuses the Lord of putting him in distressed condition. So, never complains. Like once some devotees asked Prabhupada also, "You are taking so much troubles in this movement like that." Prabhupada argued back, "Troubles? This is a privilege. Service means it is a privilege. uh, to please my spiritual master, like that. So these are signs of exalted devotee. And where are pure devotees? Where are we? They take troubles for Krishna's sake, and still they say it is privilege. And when we get troubles for our own karma, we generally don't take troubles for Krishna's sake. Whatever troubles are coming are due to our own karma. In that also we become very disturbed. See the pure devotees, they're not having any trouble because they are free from karma. Still they take troubles for Krishna's sake, and still they accept it as privilege. And now for the wrong things what we have done, when suffering comes, we become disturbed. So these are signs of an exalted devotee. Taktenu kampana susumikshamana. When suffering reversed conditions, mm, the devotee always considers the reverse conditions are Lord's concessions. So he never is angry with his master. He is always satisfied with whatever position his master offers. And in this way, he not just theoretically says that, but practically we can see. He goes on performing his duties more and more vigorously in devotional service. Like Prabhupada, when his business collapsed, he was still helping in preaching. When his business was doing well, he sponsored the temple. When business collapsed, he knew he can't give money, but he gave his time and energy, like that. So there were so many ups and downs, reversals, but he thinks these are all concessions, Lord's this one, and he goes on performing his duty. And as the saying goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So who are the real solid Vaishnavas, pure devotees? More the reversals you will see, more they will blossom in service, in surrender, in pleasing the spiritual master. That is the proof that they are never complaining, because that same Lord whom you are trying to please is only giving this punishment. If you had a tinge of any malice or anger towards Lord, you will never try to serve him. Rather, we will be busy trying to set right the problems, like that. So this is a proof that the pure devotees never are angry with the Lord, because their service goes on increasing. That means their love is increasing. Such a person is guaranteed promotion back home, back to Godhead, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tektenus kampa susumikshamano bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam hridvagvapurbir vidadam namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadayabak. My dear Lord, one who constantly waits for your costless mercy, to be bestowed upon him, like a chataka bird waiting for the rains, and who goes on suffering the reactions of his past deeds, past misdeeds. And how he is suffering? Not grudgingly, offering you respectful obeisances from the core of the heart, is surely eligible for liberation, for it is his rightful claim. So we can pray to Jadabharat, we can pray to all the pure devotees, we can pray to Srila Prabhupada, that this material world is a place where uh, it's not a place for gentlemen. And now, thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we are trying to become gentlemen and women. But before, we don't know how many lives each of us, at least my case, we have done so many wrong things. So the reactions will come. Let us pray to the Lord that we develop the right mood, not take any insult, any reversals, any mishaps in our life, uh, uh, to such an extent that we go away from practicing Krishna consciousness more and more seriously. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada. Prabhupada writes in many books. Why Mahaprabhu said this? Because material world means so many things, not against as per our wishes. We just need to tolerate it, like that. So we can pray to all of them to give us the strength. In fact, Radhesham Prabhu was saying 4 stages are there. First, whenever things don't go as per our wish, we immediately deny it. How can this happen to me, like that? Then we start introspecting. Then we realize that Okay, I like Prabhuji was giving example that if let's say body eventually becomes weak, we can't eat. We may suddenly start denying. How is it? I was so healthy all these days. Hmm. I don't think I can. Anything has happened to my body. We deny it. Then next we try to make some adjustments mentally. Maybe because I was unwell for these many days, therefore I'm not able to eat. And then we start making bargain with ourselves. We think that, okay, now I may be unwell, but once I get healthy, I think I can eat like normal, like before, because I'm still healthy. We are still not ready to accept our situation, changing situation. We try to initially say it's a temporary adjustment. Then we try to bargain. Later on, once everything is normal, I think I'll be back to my normal like that. Then we get healthy. Then we try to eat. Again, we fall sick. Then finally we come to our senses. Oh, now my body is gone. I have to accept it and only take simple food like that. So in this way, material world is a place where we have to eventually accept the reality, whatever things are. So let us pray to these great personalities. Uh, to this one, and we know very well Lord is very merciful. He has given us and is giving us more than what we deserve. uh, so we can be very grateful in whatever situation uh, we are going through, and try to show our love to Lord by showing how much we want to serve him like that. So I seek the blessings of all Vaishnavas, that I also try to follow whatever we have been hearing, discussing, uh, and please all the devotees and also the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Haridev Krishna, to a wonderful class. And so many points you brought up, Prabhu. Yeah. I just make a couple of points, and where first one, I will just make pull out the points that you mentioned was person accustomed to discomfort. The discomfort becomes disturbed and agitated, like how Maharaj Raguna was. And then you also mentioned one statement was best is utilizing all our situations to go closer to the Lord. That is the best thing we can practice. Mm. Yes, sarcasm is also more painful than direct insults, and where you also gave examples of that. But then at that time, you ended that Srila Prabhupada never punished, but always gave a chance. I also remember one letter that Radheshyam Prabhupada had written about somebody. It was a very nice letter. And yeah, and but if devotees are forgiving in nature, but the devotees who are being forgive, we should not take it for our benefit and continue. And 14 shloka, as you mentioned, that's a wonderful 8 instructions, qualities basically of an exalted devotee. It's a beautiful, beautiful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Prabhuji, I'll just unmute all so the devotees can ask their questions if you have comments, inputs. Please try to unmute yourself.
Yes, Prabhu, we can do it. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, what is that Gopinath Patnaik's pastime?
Okay, Gopinath Patnaik, actually Ramananda Rai, Vaninath Rai had 4 children, of which Ramananda, then Dayanidhi, Kalanidhi, and then Gopinath Patnaik. 5 were there. Who is the other one, Prabhuji? This one? Uh, uh, there are 5 brothers. They are like they are the 5 incarnations of the 5 Pandavas. And Ramananda Rai was Arjuna. He was a very great devotee, and Lord Chaitanya would always spend a lot of time discussing uh, intimate Krishna Katha with him. And Gopinath Patnaik was one of the brothers of Ramananda Rai. He was kind of tax collector, but instead of submitting the taxes to government, he kept something for himself. And later on, Mahaprabhu says that why he did this, because he also got kind of addicted to the comfortable position. So whenever money was there, he used to spend on some dance, drama, etc. So he spent, and then when the king realized that he had defaulted in some payment, he said, currently I don't have much money, but I can give you some horses and give me time, I will repay it. But the king's son actually gave a very low cost for the horses, and Gopinath Patnaik became very angry because he knew the horses were very good and you can't give such a low price for it. So then he made a sarcastic statement. These horses are not as bad as you, who always keep moving like this. So you should give a better price for the horse. And then Gopinath Patnaik, the king's son, became very angry and he gave him death punishment. Later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to know of it. And Mahaprabhu says, I cannot help because I am a sannyasi, and whatever wrong deeds devotees have done, if he has not stolen this one, given the king's money, it is the king's right to ask. As a sannyasi, do you expect me to go with my chadar and beg everyone or beg the king, please give me dakshina of this much money so that I can help my devotee to repay his debt to you? No, I cannot do this. If you keep telling like this, I will leave this place and go like that. But then all devotees start praying. Even Gopinath Patnaik starts praying. Somehow the news reaches the king, and the king says, "Oh, I never told you to kill that person. He's a great devotee. That too, Ramanand Rai's brother. And if Mahaprabhu gets to know of this, he'll be very upset. You just, I wanted you to collect the money back, not to do this." And the king actually relieves that person. So this is that pastime of Gopinath Patnaik.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dandavad Pranam.
Shall we end, Prabhuji, if there are no other this one?
Any other questions or comments from the devotees? Anything in the chat, Prabhuji? Okay, Prabhuji. I think we'll end here. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. We'll end with Vaishnava pronouns.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Thank you all, devotees. We'll meet tomorrow morning. Hare Krishna. I'll end this session for all.
Yes,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Balaji Gandhi Prabhu. Yesterday's talk, by any way, they have recorded, Prabhu?
Devaki Nandan Prabhu's class.
Yes, Prabhu.
I think it is there in the video that I shared. I'll check, Mataji. I'll check. It is probably the congregation.
Yes, Mataji, is recorded. Our Nirmala Prabhu's son was recording that.
Somewhere that way recording this happened. Yeah.
We'll check on that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Because due to some reasons, I was not able to come. I heard it was very good. I request you to either share it or I can post it in the website, Prabhu. We can retrieve it and read it.
Yes, Mataji, we'll try.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.